How is it going, everybody? So, Ant-Man the Wasp Quantumania is finally out in theaters. The film that kickstarts Phase 5 of the MCU, and I've been really looking forward to this as well, despite the, well, mixed reviews by critics. Does the film live up to hype, or is it a big disappointment? Well, stay tuned for my review and find out. And remember, this review contains heavy spoilers, so if you haven't seen the film yet, I recommend to go see the film before watching this video. With that being said, let's get right into the review. Okay, so the film starts off with a flashback of Janet during her time in the quantum realm, where she fends off some creatures before being attacked, and she's saved by a man who looks like Kang? The hell? We cut to present day, where Scott is now famous after his heroic duty in Endgame, and is on a book tour promoting his book, recapping everything that happened to him in his life. And everything is going great for him until his daughter Cassie, this time played by Kathy Newton, is arrested following the peaceful protest. She gets bailed out by Scott, Hope, and Hank, and they drive out to the Penn residence to have dinner. Cassie reveals to them that she's been working on ways to help people after being intrigued by Hank's quantum studies during the blip, and reveals to Janet and Scott that she, Hope, and Hank have made a device to send a signal down to the quantum realm, where Janet demands to shut it down immediately until the signal sets them down into the quantum realm. Scott saves Cassie, and they both get separated from Hank, Hope, and Janet deep inside the quantum realm. Scott and Cassie are confronted by an alliance called the Freedom Fighters, led by BigJonTalks, played by Katie M. O'Brien, and Quaz, who can use telepathy. They perform a ritual to help Scott and Cassie understand the language and manage to tell the Freedom Fighters that it came from above, and BigJonTalks reveals that a man from above came down there as well and managed to conquer their home. Oh shit. You know what's about to go down, guys. Janet leaves and guides Hank and Hope to the quantum realm based on her knowledge of being trapped there for 30 years, and takes them to Asia, a city located deep in the quantum realm, and meet Janet's old friend, Krylar, played by Bill Murray. He's actually the governor of Xavier, and once worked with Janet while being trapped inside, but after some time has passed, he betrayed his comrades and now works for the Conqueror that was mentioned by BigJonTalks, and orders his men to kill Hope and her family, but luckily they managed to escape in Krylar's ship. We then cut back to the Freedom Fighters, where they are attacked by MODOK, who is revealed to be, which honestly is not a surprise, it turns out is Darren Cross, the main antagonist from the first Ant-Man film, who turns out survived after his defeat against Scott, and his body was permanently disfigured, leaving him with small arms and legs, and a giant head. He's rescued by Kang after being left to die, and is transformed into MODOK. He takes Scott and Cassie prisoner, and introduces them to Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors. And I'll just get this out of the way. Kang the Conqueror was arguably, no doubt in my mind, the best part of this entire film. Every time he showed up on screen, he really made scenes intimidating, and he showed why he's a force to be reckoned with. Jonathan Majors absolutely killed it in this role. I'm serious. This next MCU big bad has already won me over Thanos already, and I ain't ready for what's to come. But we'll get into that later. Anyway, Kang makes a deal with Scott to retrieve the multiversal power core to power up his time chair, or else he will kill Cassie. Scott hesitates, but agrees to do so in order to free Cassie. We then cut to Janet, who explains more about Kang, and that he was a scientist who was trapped in the quantum realm, and where they had befriended each other, and worked on fixing his time chair to get them both out of the quantum realm. They succeed, and just when Janet puts the power core inside Kang's time chair, she discovers Kang's true past, and uses Pym particles to grow the core, deeming it useless, and leaving her and Kang still trapped. However, with Kang getting his powers back, he was able to start his empire in the quantum realm, where he would conquer Asia and put lives in danger, all thanks to Janet helping him. So yeah, Janet is basically responsible for Kang gaining his rule in the quantum realm, and even Jentor mentioned that to Scott and Cassie in the beginning of the film. Scott, with the help and rescue of Hope, manages to shrink the power core, and Kang turns their back on the deal, where they begin to rebel against him, but Kang easily defeats both Ant-Man and Wasp and steals the power core, while MODOK deals with Hank. Kang explains his origins and his plan to Janet to thwart a group called the Council of Kangs for exiling him into the quantum realm as Cassie escapes and frees the Freedom Fighters. Ant-Man and Wasp meet Hank, who are accompanied by smarter ants who have also traveled down to the quantum realm. Yep, those ants we see him train in previous films actually come out to help him. Hey, he must have raised him well. Good father. Anyway, Cassie interrupts Kang's transmissions to Xavier, telling all residents to fight against Kang. Kang tells MODOK to kill Cassie and is confronted by Giant Man approaching Xavier's center. The Freedom Fighters and his inhabitants of the Quantum Realm also help defeat Kang, despite losing 2 of his attacks. With Ant-Man and the Wasp in stature attempting to battle him, Hank calls his ants to distract him, convinced he has been acting horribly. Darren sacrifices his life as a hero in disabling Kang's force field he had made, allowing the ants to attack him. Well, it's cool to see Darren saw his wrongdoings, and hey, even at one point, he wanted to join the Avengers. Ain't helping you this time for you, buddy. You did. Janet opens the portal back to Earth until Scott, the last person to return, was blasted away by Kang and attempts to kill Scott in a brutal hand-to-hand combat, but with the help of Wasp, Kang is sucked in by the destroying power core, presuming to have died. Yeah, right. And looking back celebrating the Freedom Fighters, Scott and Hope leave the quantum realm. Everyone returns home safely, and Scott even throws Cassie a fake birthday party to make up for the time that he had missed during the blip. But Scott is unsure if Kang has truly been defeated, even recalling a conversation of Kang saying that if he doesn't get out of the quantum realm, something bad was going to happen. But Scott doesn't worry and enjoys Cassie's party as the film ends. But this is an MCU movie after all, and we got 2 post-credit scenes that are huge for the future of the MCU. In the mid-credit scene, we are introduced to the Council of Kangs, led by 3 Kang variants, Ramatut, Immortus, and Scarlet Centurion. They all believe that Kang, the one they exiled in the Quantum Realm, the Conqueror, has died, but they are not pleased with what had happened, and that many heroes are touching the multiverse. Pretty much referring to the events of No Way Home and Multiverse of Madness. We even see him looking at the branch of timelines going erratic that we saw at the end of Loki Season 1. And Mortis even says, and if we let them, they will take everything we have built, so let's not wasting time, we're late. He even says that he called all of us, and we get a reveal of an arena full of Kang variants, which pretty much is a comic reference to the Council of Kangs. This post-credit scene is not only similar to the comics, but it also sets up Avengers, the Kang Dynasty. This tells me not only the Avengers are going to have to deal with all these Kang variants from causing damage to the multiverse, and to be honest, I don't think Kang the Conqueror is actually dead. My prediction is that he'll come out of being sucked out of that power core and might even become godlike. Hell, we've been hearing all these rumors that a Kang variant of the Beyonder might be the main villain of Secret Wars. So honestly, this makes a whole lot of sense, and I'm really excited to see this set up the Kang Dynasty and how much of a threat these Kang variants pose. We then cut to a second post-credit scene in the 20th century where we're introduced to another Kang variant, Victor Timely, doing a presentation about, well, time. Actually, in the comics, Victor Timely is a brilliant industrialist in 1901, and inventor Victor Timely found the town of Timely, Wisconsin, and as first mayor and leader in industry, he transformed the city into a technological marvel. Though his true self acts behind closed doors and lays the foundation for future conquests. In the crowd, we see Loki and Mobius in the crowd, and Loki panics to see Victor and tells Mobius it's him, implying that his encounter with He Who Remains at the end of Loki Season 1. With Mobius telling Loki that he makes it sound like he's a big threat, with Loki implying he is. The screen cuts to black, and we get a text box that says, Kang will return. Oh shit, this has me hyped, and it wouldn't surprise me at all that this is a clip from Loki Season 2. Again, the danger that Kang presents in the MCU has to be shit in my pants. Yo, I ain't even kidding right now. I am not ready for the dangers that this Kang presents in the future, and honestly, I think the Avengers are screwed. Okay, with spoilers out of the way, I want to share with you guys my thoughts on the film, and I know the reviews from critics have been hating on this film, but honestly, I really like this film. In fact, I think it's the best film in the entire Ant-Man trilogy. Of course, the film does have its flaws. Now, while the film is definitely more darker than the first two, and may have missed some of the charm from previous films. For example, Michael Peña's Luis from the first two, or even Bert for that matter, yeah, they're not in this movie. Really disappointing because I always loved how Luis did those flashback conversations, and I really thought it would have been cool to see him do that recapping of everything that happened during the events of the blip and everything else. In fact, in the first 10 minutes of the film, we only see Scott's and the Pym's lives before they enter the quantum realm for only that time. 10 minutes. I think it really would have been cool if they add at least more runtime for Luis coming in and getting more screen time and doing what he does best, as well as other characters, including the Pym family as well. The film definitely had higher stakes in the first two films, and while some of that charm is missing, like I mentioned before, the dark tone and character growth we come to know for these characters, the connections with Janet in the quantum realm, the relationship between Scott and Cassie, and of course Kang himself, it more than made up for it. Hell, the overall tone has gotten a lot in comparison to Star Wars, which, yeah, I can agree about that. Like, for example, the Freedom Fighters rebelling against Kang remind me a lot of the Geonosis fight back in Attack of the Clones. And Darren becoming MODOK remind me a lot of Vader's transformation in Revenge of the Sith. I mean, I know both Marvel and Star Wars are owned by Disney, so I guess they had to make some references to it somehow, I guess, though. And the overall tone definitely felt like a space opera, so it fits, I guess? In terms of characters, Kang has already established itself as a force to be reckoned with. With Cassie, she's basically the typical young teenager trying to do the right thing, and even shows her ability to follow in her father's footsteps when she puts on the Stinger, statured suit, whatever you want to call it. Hope, unfortunately, doesn't get much attention, unfortunately. Same thing goes for Hank, but Janet was really good in this film, especially how it shows her backstory during her time being trapped in the quantum realm for over 30 years. And her history in helping her family get out of there, though, and know what to do, was really intriguing to watch. As I said with Luis, I really think adding a few extra minutes of screen time in the beginning could have really given more spotlight for these characters, as Scott, Cassie, Janet, and Kane were really the real stars of this film. Now, with the visuals of this, I actually really enjoyed, though, and I know there have been some issues with the CGI in Marvel films with fans and VFX designers of Marvel for not getting enough time to do proper visuals, given how many projects were being pushed out by Marvel Studios and Disney. But as far as for improvements, I think it's a step up, and yes, even somewhat from MODOK. Look, I know MODOK isn't perfect. I mean, it's a man with a giant floating head. I mean, hell, it's basically Corey Stoll's face, all giant head and a mechanical body. Maybe because I'm not a huge MODOK fan like some others though, but for his first live-action adaptation, I thought MODOK looked just fine. Even though it was Darren Cross and not George Tarleton. I don't hear anybody complaining about his design in the Avengers game. Too bad he died in the film though. Could've used him in more feature films. At least his math was cool. But overall, Quantumania is a film I had a lot of fun with. I mean, it's not a great film by any means, but it's still a film worth going to see in my opinion. I believe it was a great start to Phase 5 and had me hyped for future MCU projects. In the end, it really matters about what you think about the film. But I really do recommend you guys go see it though. It may not appeal to everyone, but it does have its audiences. I'm going to give Quantumania an 8.5 out of 10. Guys, thank you so much again for watching this video, and before I go, I want to give another special shout out to Ashley Cooper for her work on my thumbnail and intro for my movie reviews, as well as many designs she has made for me on this channel. Thanks so much again, Ashley, and again, go follow her on Twitter, the link will be in the description down below, and don't forget to follow me on my other social media pages. And remember, for 500 subscribers, I'm still going to be doing my Marvel Legends giveaway. Look at that box though, Shuri's Black Panther from Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So if you want a chance to win this, be sure to subscribe for more content to get your hands on this figure. Remember, we're doing this for 500 subs, guys. 500. Oh. Again, thank you so much for watching and all your support. This is Big John signing off. Y'all take care.